Hey guys, so you might be considering looking into getting professional help to overcome a problem or an issue in your life that is plaguing you, be it organizational, be it entrepreneurship or in just individual life. And you may be considering and heard that this world of coaching exists out there where you can pay a person a fee to meet with them on a regular basis and they help you to navigate through some of these problems in order to make your life or whatever those things may be better. And lately, there seems to be more coaches popping up than there's Starbucks shops everywhere. And I'm joke about this because there's a lot of people out there that have a skill set and these people want to take that skill set and help others on an individual basis through coaching to become better at it. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, and a lot of positive things can happen, but that's not coaching, guys. Coaching is very specific, and coaching has some specific standards and principles that have to be obeyed by in order to actually classify it as coaching. There's other components of professional development that I'm going to cover right now that may be more suitable for you than coaching is, right? So what are we talking about here? Depends on what you need, right? You may have a problem where there is a specific solution and you already know the outcome, right? You already know kind of what's going on. You know that this is exactly what you need. You just don't know how to necessarily to do that. In this case, you may not need a coach. You might not need a consultant. Those people are pretty expensive too. You may need a trainer. And I don't mean trainer as in just like a personal trainer in health, because that's what I specialize in, is health coaching. I mean a trainer that just specifically trains on one subject. They are not creating a new system. They're not coming in and assessing your need. They're not pulling this information out of you. You came to them and you, based on marketing, referrals, whatever it may be, you said, here, I have this specific problem that I need to use your method to fix. Teach me, my team, whoever it may be, how to do it. They come in and they execute it. With trainers, there's some amazing trainers out there. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to make it seem like one is better than the other. But often with training, it's cheaper than consulting and coaching. Why? There's no analysis of your individual information. This training is not custom tailored to your need as a client. It is just a training based on a method that exists. And even though these people are remarkable, they are not necessarily problem solvers. They're just implementers of things. Then comes in a consultant. Consultant is probably the most expensive version of the four parameters I'm discussing. And with consultants, you spend a lot of money because consultants typically work an area that is very large when it comes down to financial responsibility, or outcomes are very heavy financially. So when they come in and they analyze your situation, they have many different solutions to problems. They have a specific niche that they focus on, but they can solve many different issues, in even the same issue, in many different ways, depending on the need of you or your organization or whatever the consultant's working with. So they come in and they assess your situation. They take a look at all the different variables that exist of what inputs you come in and what outputs you need, and then based on the information provided, they provide a prescriptive analysis that basically says, here's what, based on analysis, would be best for you to do, and here's how we can teach you how to do it. And they come in, teach, implement, but they give you the answer. They're not necessarily going to come in and say, hey, we figured out that this is the problem based on our analysis. What do you think you should do? That's not what a consultant does. They're going to say, here's our systems, here's how this works with another organization, here's how this works with another person, and they're going to solve that problem. So what that then does is it gives you solutions that you may not have been aware of. This completely new information that you didn't maybe know exists. So it's wonderful. It's a great option. Then there is a mentor. A mentor is something that kind of gets thrown around different ways. I create this distinction, guys, because there's many subcategories of mentorship, and I'm not going to get into it in this video. But what you want to ultimately look at is that mentors are not paid. They've been there, they've done it, they know how this works, and they can help others to get there. But they do that because they want to pass on their craft to other people. They want to do somebody a favor, or they just, passionate about the industry that they're in. They're not necessarily going to get paid. Now, is there mentors out there getting paid? But this is where the definition gets a little bit loose. And, I've been doing this for a long time. That's how me and my friends and the circles that are running with professionally refer to mentorship. It is not a paid thing. So that's where consultantship and mentorship really kind of separates. Mentors have many ways they can accomplish, solutions and fix problems, but they are not necessarily taking money from you to implement the solution. They're also not responsible for the solution, kind of like a consultant would be. And then comes in a coach. And that's ultimately what I'm talking about today, different types of coaching. And what is a coach, really on the high level? On a high level, a coach is somebody that's going to pull out information from you. It's really the implementation. This is kind of where there's a little bit of gray with coaching. Some new coaches may not have the experience to do what you want to do. And just because a coach has done what you need to be doing doesn't mean they're a consultant. It's how they go about implementing the strategy. A consultant come in and tells you, bam, 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 do this, do this, do this. A coach says, what do you think based on your information and things that you know, based on the stuff that I've taught you, based on all of this awareness that we just created for you? What do you think is the best route for you to go and why? And let's understand all the possible variables that are there. But ultimately, you plot your path. The coach is just asking questions. Great coaches don't necessarily have to be there to coach you. They know how to ask questions. That is what the power of coaching ultimately is. Excuse me. It's an amazing way of asking questions that pull out the answers that exist within us or around us that we're just not aware of. But that question opens up our perspective and we reach for it, we grasp it, and we're able to implement it. They also hold you accountable in different ways. It's always putting back on you. But ultimately, right, what are these different types of coaches that exist? My company, Coaching Hub, a group of us that own this, basically has tried to, is not trying, but is solving this problem of not knowing what coach to use because there's jacks of all trades. I don't blame coaches for this. Don't get me wrong. It's human nature. I'm a new coach. I'm an experienced coach. I'm a little bit low in business. Somebody says, hey, I need a coach for this. Coaches always feel like I can solve your problem. But are they the best coach for the problem that you have? Just because they can improve your problem does not mean that they're the best person for the problem, because there's a difference between having a problem marginally improved and problem improved in order to maximize the potential of the outcome. Massive difference exists there. So that's the difference between a specialist and a generalist, and a person that kind of can get you through it, and a person that specializes in coaches in that one area that you need. So with coaching, really, we look at with 8 major kind of big categories of coaching. There's hundreds of different categories of subcategories that exist within each one of them, right? Perfect example, when you talk about life coaching. Life coaching is a really big umbrella. I can do life coaching to coach on work-life balance. I can use life coaching to coach on relationships, on family, on marriages, on raising kids, on being a parent. I can do life coaching on your identity. I'm not saying me in particular. I'm saying that's what life coaches can do. But they can work with you on identity, being stuck, fear of failure, fears of whatever, start commitment, you name it. There's different specialties for that. Can a life coach kind of navigate you in all of them? As a generalist, sure, but the best person is a specialist in that area. And what we do at Coaching Hub, by the way, is we work with generalists to be kind of the conduit that delivers all the information between different specialists. And we plug in different specialists organizationally that are the perfect fit for organizational need for that individual component. Then a generalist comes back in and keeps the flow of information coming. But anyway, so with your coaches, your first level is going to be, first of all, let's establish that a coach makes you think in a different way. That's ultimately what a coach does. So let's use that analogy of thinking across 8 verticals to help you understand what different coaching areas and verticals mean. So starting out with your life coaching. A life coach helps you to understand and become aware of your desires. What you actually want. How do you want to live your life? What kind of code of ethics do you want to live by? Because what it does is it simplifies your existence. It makes it easier because then you're not constantly having to face choices because you've become aligned, synergistic with your way of living that it becomes really simple to rely on. It's kind of like having a boss. It's an amazing boss, takes care of you, you trust a lot, but they always tell you exactly what to do. It's amazing. They take all that out of the way and make you successful. And that's what a life coach helps you to have that feeling with yourself, by yourself, because every coach should always make you self-sustain. So their job is to make your thoughts, be aware of your desires, and then match your actions to your thoughts and your desires. That's how I simplify life coaching. Then comes in a health coach. A health coach really teaches you how to be disciplined. That's what a good health coach does. And it spills over into your life because how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you can become disciplined with your health, all aspects of your life become better. Not just because health plays a role in all your aspects, but because discipline will be better across all those aspects. Health coach, as far as thoughts basically go, a health coach helps you to be chemically balanced so that way your thoughts are your thoughts and not animal responses or reactions, I should say. Because you're very reactive when you're chemically imbalanced, and you can be much more humanly responsive when you're chemically balanced. That's on a high level what a health coach does. Then we come in and we look at your next category of coaching, which is going to be, let's see, on the list here, we got career coaches, right? So with career coaches, what a career coach does is they help you to find alignment between your thoughts and your job. They are not only helping people to find jobs and get promoted, but they focus on creating a synergistic relationship between a person's identity, who they are, everything that they are, and what they do to make a living. When that alignment happens, some amazing coaches out there create this for you. It seems like you don't work a day in your life because that alignment exists, that synergy exists. From there, we come in with leadership coaches, right? That's a big area of coaching, probably one of the older ones that exist because of executive coaching, right? Which I don't talk about executive coaching. Executive coaches do lots of different coaching like this. Executive coach is a bigger umbrella of these subcategories. But anyway, so leadership coaches, a leadership coach helps us to get away from our ego. Our human nature, or I should say animalistic nature, is to have an ego. That ego drives us every single day. And what a leadership coach does is they help you to see the world outside of your ego and see it through how to operate daily in consideration of other people around me. They help us to see and think in servant ways and find fulfillment from serving others. They help us to feel good, not about a position, but about an outcome of a position, really focusing on purpose of our actions, not the position that we hold that allows us to deliver it. That's really high level what leadership coaches focus on. Then from leadership, we get into marketing coaches. Marketing coaches, what they do is they take our thoughts and they help us to present them in a way that entices the people whose thoughts are directed for to act on those thoughts and basically attract them to us. They bring us people that are interested in what we have to share, be a service, be a product, whatever it may be. And even marketing can go as far as your speeches, going out and delivering giving speeches in public and keynotes and all that kind of stuff. There's really other different ways to go about it of what marketing is, but it's ultimately getting people to believe in who you are without you having to necessarily sell them, because that's what sales does. It's the actual conversation. Marketing is a little bit more inbound, right? They teach us how do people come to our ideas, to our thoughts. That's the high level view of marketing. Then comes in sales. Sales help us to really get people to view that our thoughts around the solution to their problem is the right match for their problem. That's what sales coaches do. They help to expedite the sales cycle to where people start to capture that idea much faster. They increase the use of us to fix their problem, different things like that. That's what a sales coach does. But ultimately, they help to people to see that your solution matches up to their problem. After sales coaches come in your communication coaches. And these people are really amazing. They've existed for a long time, maybe just not been called that, but they help to make sure that the thoughts that we have in our mind, in our body, wherever it may be, are being conveyed to the people that are supposed to receive them in exact way that we want it to deliver the message precisely how it was meant to be delivered. That's what communication coaches do. They make that information resonate. They help your audience to capture the information. And most importantly, they bring clarity of information for you to your communication partner. My friend Lila Smith talks about this. And it's who you're talking to. They help to create that clarity. And then last but not least, come in your business coaches. From high level, different types of business coaches out there, but what they do is they take a look at your business to help you start your business and taking your thoughts, put them into an actual idea that's going to work and making it profitable. They look at your operations and they find opportunities where your thoughts could be improved operationally and systemically. And that's ultimately what business coaches do. Guys, so there's lots of different coaches out there, but you need to understand that even then, right, you've selected a group of coaches. I just wrote an article on LinkedIn where I recommended kind of 3 of my connections per category. I'll try to drop it in the comments if I remember. If not, just email me. And Even then, why did I create 3 options? Why not just put the best one? Because each one of them is good in a different way. Their personality may fit your style better. Their niche may fit your style better. Their style of delivery may fit your style better. But you need to understand with coaches, all of this matters, and really personality. Like as an example, I'm a tough love coach. If you're a person that's never experienced tough love because you got raised telling you were the greatest in the world, I may not be for you. Because instead of sitting here and telling you everything's going to be okay, I'm going to tell you, hey, what you're doing right now is not working out. It's not what you're committed to. Let's have a conversation around what you need to do differently to get back to the thoughts that you had when you initially started this journey, right? Call you out. But maybe that's too much. Some of you need to be a little bit more warmer approach and support because you don't respond well to that. You need to understand yourself and who you are in order to find the right match with a coach. I see this all the time. Wonderful coaches that I've even worked with or I've seen clients get great results. Take on a client and maybe I sent somebody to them and they come back to me, well, I had a terrible experience. Well, I already knew why, because the personality didn't match, and everything they told me had to do with personality, not coach's knowledge or their systems or their application or whatever it may be. So understand all of these things matter. You also need to understand, can you do virtual coaching? Can you do this to where it's a face-to-face conversation virtually, or do you need somebody in person to actually have that interaction, have that sense of body language and energy and all these tone of voice, whatever things may be missed virtually for you? So understand all these different components and explore your coaches. If you guys need help, like I said, I'm CEO of Coaching Hub. It's a great organization that partners with a lot of coaches, and we really vet them for people through interviews to help you find the best match for your need between a specialist and a generalist and different things like that. But hopefully this gives you some clarity in when you need a mentor, when you need a coach, when you need a consultant or a trainer, and as well if coach is the answer, which obviously is my specialty, what kind of coaches exist and what high level you should look for. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Have an amazing